Hey there, class. This tutorial is going to teach you how to draw an angry bird. On screen you see a very famous Angry Bird character, and right here you see all the parts that create the angry bird. So this tutorial will teach you how to draw this angry bird and teach you some very valuable skills on how to create cartoon characters, especially like this one. So the basic shape of an angry bird is a circle with a couple other circles and eyeball circles and so on. So we should know how to draw circles at this point, but let's just go over that. So I'm going to click on the circle tool, and I'm going to draw out a circle. And I want this to be a nice red color, so I'll click on the red. What do I need to do next? So I have my circle drawn out, and the angry bird has this nice black outline on it. So I need to turn on my edit object colors. Let me swing this over here some more so you can see what I'm doing. Just a refresher, fill has to do with the inside color, so if you turn that on and off, that'll change that. They turn that back to red. Stroke paint. Stroke paint is the outline, so when you click on this button right here, the outline pops up. That's not thick enough, so we need to change the stroke style width. And we'll click on this little up arrow until we're happy with the width. So that's 6, so you can actually highlight that, enter 6, and press enter, and it'll change that. We also notice on the angry bird he has like these two little feathers on top of his head, and we need to create that. So that's pretty interesting way of doing things. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually draw another circle on top, and you'll notice it'll keep the same parameters or the same adjustments that you made to that circle. What we want to do to this is tilt it on its side, so we need to click on the selector tool, and we can now move it. If we click on that shape again, you'll notice that the rotating options will pop up on the corners. So I'm going to rotate that a little bit, move that up here, and I'm going to leave it right there. What we need to do next is actually create a union between these two shapes. So you're going to click on the big circle, and on the keyboard hold down shift, and when you hold down shift and click on the other circle, it'll select both circles. So now you can let go shift, and these two circles should be selected at the same time. So in the path menu you have lots of different options. The one that we want is union. Union will put these two shapes together. So watch what happens. I'm going to click on union, and bam, those two become one. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the edit paths and nodes tool. I'm going to bring this node right here over slightly, and I'm going to grab its little extender and pull it over like that, so we get that nice sharp line right there. Okay, so now we need to draw this second circle. Click on the circle tool, click on create a circle. This time we're not going to unionize because we want this overlapping, but this is what we will do. Click on the select transform tool, click on the circle again, rotate it, and leave it right there just like that. You're going to double click on the circle, and you're going to notice these little icons pop up. What we can do is, oops, I messed up. Okay, I'm doing this wrong. So whenever you do something wrong, don't panic. Just click on the selector and start over. I'm going to delete that. Okay, so I'm going to try again. See what's happening to my circle? Okay, I don't want that. I want to go into, I want to click this option right here and turn it back into a circle. Okay, now I click on the selector again, shrink that a bit, squeeze it, click it once, and tilt it. Okay, what I actually need to do is turn this circle into a path. So I'm going to go back into the path menu and click on object to path. So I click that, then I click on my path editor, and what I'll see is my 4 nodes come up. The next step is kind of tricky. We need to click on this node, and we need to break it. So we're going to break that node. So that's this option right here. It is break path at selected node. So we're going to click on that, and what it does is it turns that path into two nodes. So I'm going to grab this node right here, and you'll see what's happening. So I'm going to move that here. I'm going to actually delete this one. So I'm going to click on it and press delete. And there is my other feather. So it looks a little bit different than the original, but that's okay. Now we need to draw these funky looking eyebrows. So I'm going to click on the Bezier tool, and I'm going to I'm going to make it one shape, but they look like rectangles next to each, just kind of stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to start by doing that. And this doesn't have to be perfect. It's a cartoon character. It's silly looking anyway. Here we go. So I'm going to close that up. Now I need to fill it with black, so I'm going to click on the black on the bottom. There's my eyebrows. Click on the move tool if you need to move it up anymore. I'm going to move it to the top here like that. Alright. Let's go ahead and draw the little tail. So again, Bezier tool. That looks like 3 rectangles on their sides. So you click, creating shapes like this. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Now, you're not going to go straight to close it right away. You're just going to click right in here and then close it there. Okay. So then you're going to fill it with black. And there's your little tail. Okay, so now that you've completed the tail, we're going to go ahead and work on the eyes and the belly and the beak. So the eyes are simple. That's just circles. Go ahead and draw 2 circles, fill them white, and make sure, fill them white. The thickness of the line is not as thick as the others, so in your stroke style, bring that down to about 3. And remember, from one of the other tutorials, if you right click on a shape, you can duplicate it and then use the move tool to move it over. So duplicate is a shortcut for copy paste. It's one thing. You don't have to, control C, control V. And now we need eyeballs or the pupils, so go ahead and click on the circle tool again and draw those in. Just like that. Okay. So the beak is a bit of a complicated shape. It's a triangle with curves. So let's click on the Bezier tool and go ahead and let me zoom in a little bit. To zoom in, you click on the mouse wheel, or right down here in the bottom right, you're gonna have a zoom in button. So to get that shape of the beak, I'm going to draw a triangle like this, and then I'm going to use the Bezier path node curve tool, and I'm going to curve the beak just like that, and then I'm going to find a nice orange to fill it. Okay, so now that I filled that up, let me just look at this. So that's not the right color I want. Let me look for a different yellow, or like a darker yellow. There we go, that's good. Okay, the bottom of the beak is more of a square, so like when I hover over it, you're going to see these lines pop up. And then the inside is another triangle. So let's go ahead and draw those. Bezier tool, and right at this corner, click once, click here, bring the mouse over here, click there, click, and close it up. Okay. Now I want the same exact color as this beak, so I'm going to use the dropper right here, and you can pick colors from an image. So click that, and then click the beak, and you'll see it fill in. Now the bottom of the beak is on top of the beak. What we need is to actually bring that below the beak. So if you click on the selector, you're going to see a new menu pop up right here. This is how you stack your shapes. So this second one, it will lower selection 1 step. So it's going to lower it 1 step below. So I click on that one time, and you'll notice that the beak goes under. I'm going to click on the edit pass again, curve the bottom of the beak a little bit, and curve the side here just like that. Now we need that triangle shape that's inside the beak that makes the mouth. So click on the Bezier tool again and go ahead and draw a triangle like this. And that is a brown color, so I'm going to just click on this brown here. And again, use the Bezier tool to curve that out on that line and curve this in. Click on the selector, and we need to again lower that below the top beak. Click on that button right there, and boom, there is your mouth. Now we need the belly. The belly is pretty easy. One thing you'll notice about drawing vectors, a lot of things start off with a triangle. So with this Bezier tool, I'm going to start off with the triangle. I'm going to click once near the edge here. Where am I going here? Click up near the eyeball here. Click right here, and then close it up. So I'm going to use the edit paths. I'm going to curve this bottom line so it is matching the curvature of the bottom circle. So you can move the nodes, don't forget about that. There we go. Nice. And I'm going to bring this one down a little bit. Curve that. Curve that. Okay, and then I'm going to go and pick, what color was that? That was like it's like a khaki color, right? So that's like right here. Okay. I'm going to go into stroke paint and turn off the stroke. And then I'm going to click on the selector, and I'm going to again bring that down a couple steps. So you can click on that multiple times until you get it to where you want it. So that's where I want it. And now we need these little freckle things that are on the Angry Bird. And those are just circles. They're just dark red circles. So click on the circle tool, draw a circle. Click on a dark red. And you can go ahead and duplicate that over a couple times. So this first one right here should be a little smaller. Bring this one over, duplicate, bring that over. And this is kind of like a shadow under the eye. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger than the rest of the circles, almost covering the eye. And then again, I'm going to lower that a few steps until it is right underneath the eye, just like that. Yep, good. I'll duplicate that again, bring it over, and lower it a few steps. And there it is. There's my Angry Bird. You can get creative with this if you want to change the colors up, or give it a different color beak, or make him look like he has crooked eyes, or even angry eyes. Feel free. Have fun with it. Get creative. Make more than one Angry Bird. And show me when you're done. Make sure you save it. So, again, real quick, File, Save As, Angry Bird. Make sure you put your initials on here. So my initials are EC. I don't know what your initials would be, but go ahead and put that there. And make sure you save it as a SVG. Click Save, and you're done.